Sangye chodang soki chok namla. Jangcho badu dakni kyap suchi. Dagji jin shuki pe sonam ki. Drola panchi sangye drupa shok pei. In the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Sangha, until enlightenment, we take refuge in you. May we, through the merit of generosity and so forth, achieve Buddhahood for the benefit of all sentient beings. Pei. Welcome to Tridevi Chamunda Mandir in Denver, Colorado. This is Yamajit, and thank you so very much for joining me for day 21 of Tibetan Book of the Dead song, Sadhana. And it looks like I am live today after all. Our family outing was postponed a bit, waiting for the roads to clear from the snow we had last night. So, day 21 is the section of the book known as Judgment. And you may see some similarities to the similar theme in several other of the world's mythologies. A key player in today's drama will be Lord Yama, the Lord of the Dead, who we've had in our central meditation image throughout this series. And also we have another image of Yama from Tibet as well on our altar. So I'm going to start out by reading the opening instructions to the officiant, the earthbound reader. Yet again, it may be possible that because of the influence of poor past choices, one will not recognize even now. Therefore, call the deceased name and speak as follows. So I invite you to sit comfortably, close your eyes, and breathe deeply. Take a moment for grounding and centering. And begin to visualize the deceased person for whom you're doing this sadhana sitting opposite you. And silently call their name 3 times. And acknowledge that you're acting as a conduit of this important information, both to whom you are doing this sadhana for and also all other deceased beings who are wandering in this bardo state. O nobly born, and I invite you to repeat the name one more time. Listen, your suffering comes from your own imperfect choices. It is not due to anyone else's from your own imperfect past choices. It is not due to anyone else's. Accordingly, pray earnestly. If you do not pray or know how to meditate, then that within you that is good, which was born simultaneously with all other parts of you, will come now to count out your good deeds with white pebbles. That which is bad within you, which was born simultaneously with you, will come to count out your bad deeds with black pebbles. Thereupon, you will be greatly frightened, awed, and terrified, and will tremble, and you will attempt to tell lies, saying, I've not committed any evil deed. Then Yama, the Lord of Death, will say, I will consult the mirror of your past. So saying, he will look in the mirror, whereupon every good and evil act, vividly reflected, lying, will be of no avail. Then a helper of the Lord of Death, who is really your own conscience, will place around your neck a rope and drag you along, and he will cut off your head and extract your heart, pull out your intestines, lick your brain, drink your blood, eat your flesh, and gnaw your bones, but you will be incapable of dying. Although your body is hacked to pieces, you will revive again, and repeated hacking will cause intense pain and torture. Even at that time that the pebbles are being counted out, do not be frightened nor terrified. Tell no lies, and do no fear toward the Lord of Death. Your body, being a mental body, is incapable of dying, even though beheaded and quartered. In reality, your body is of the nature of voidness, so you need not be afraid. The torture is but an illusion. The lords of death are your own hallucinations. Voidness cannot injure voidness, and qualityless cannot injure qualityless. Apart from your own hallucinations, in reality, there are no such things existing outside of yourself, such as a lord of death. Act so as to recognize this. At this time, act so as to recognize that you are in the after physical death phase. Meditate. If you do not know how to meditate, then merely analyze with care your real nature, of that which is frightening you at this time. In reality, it is not formed into anything but a voidness. That voidness is not the nature of the voidness of nothingness, but a voidness of the true nature of which you feel awed, and before which your intellect shines clearly and more lucidly. In that state where you were existing, there is being experienced by you an unbearable intensity, voidness and brightness inseparable, voidness bright by nature and brightness by nature void, and the brightness inseparable from the voidness, a state of the primordial and unmodified intellect, and the power of this, shining unobscuredly, will radiate everywhere. O nobly born, listen to me undistractedly. By merely recognizing you are certain to obtain perfect emancipation. Do not be distracted. The line of demarcation between perfected and imperfected beings lies herein. This moment is one of great importance. If you should now be distracted, it will require innumerable aeons of time for you to come out of this quagmire of misery. And saying the truth of which is applicable is, in a moment of time as marked change is created. In a moment of time, perfect enlightenment is obtained. Pay. Till the moment which has just passed, all this after-death experience has been dawning upon you, and yet you have not recognized, because of being distracted. On this account, you have experienced all fears and terrors. Should you become distracted now, the cords of divine compassion will cease, and you will go into a place of which there is no immediate liberation. Therefore, be very careful. Even though you have not recognized before this, despite being set face to face, you will recognize and obtain liberation here. Further instructions to the officiant. If it be an illiterate boor who does not know how to meditate, then say thus: O nobly born, if you do not know how to meditate, act so as to remember your religion and pray. Think of all these fears and terrifying aspirations as being your own thought forms. Bring to your recognition and recollection the name, or better, any spiritual name you may have had while you were a human being, and recollect that name of your divine leader, and speak these. Even though you fall down precipices, you will not be hurt. Avoid awe and avoid terror. Om Ahum. Om Ahum. Om Ahum. Pei. Take a deep and clearing breath, letting go of this meditation for now, and slowly open your eyes. And as before, I advise you to spend some time in quiet meditation before returning to your daily activities. I'd like for you to invite you to join me again at noon tomorrow and noon on Monday. It's being a holiday weekend for days 22 and 23 of our sadhana. I'd also like to invite you to join me on Tuesday following our 7 o'clock sadhana for our weekly Tuesday night satsang. And I'll be sharing a meditation based on the short scripture, the Bhavani, the Bhavani Achitam. And then Wednesday, Thursday, 7 o'clock, Tibetan Book of the Dead. Friday, following the Tibetan Book of the Dead sadhana at 7 p.m. I will be doing our next installment of the 64 Yogini series. We'll be honoring Yogini 14, Ma Vajrarupa, who we see pictured here. So thank you for joining me. That would include Ali, who's joining live right now, and anybody who'll be watching this recording. Namaste. Blessings always. Thank you so very much for joining me today. Jai Mata Di. Jai Mata Di. Jai Mata Di. A wonderful day, and look forward to you joining me tomorrow. Jai Ma.